Hello everyone, Main Marco here, and welcome to the first of what I hope is many gameplay videos, where you, the audience, will get to watch I, Main Marco, play many games at a skill level that I would say is mid at best. Today, we're going to be playing a game called FTL, a classic from the early 2010s, one I played a lot of back in high school and during early college, and wild to believe that's already 12 years old. For those who have not heard of this game before, it is a roguelike space game where essentially you pick a ship and you are tasked with getting through multiple vectors of space to warn your sort of like alliance leaders of a rebel incursion that is happening. It's difficult, fun, zany, random events, and one of my all-time favorites. Before we get started, just to share a little bit about myself, I'm Main Marco, as previously said. I like D&D, but who doesn't these days? Warhammer, playing games, obviously, anime, all the usual nerdy stuff, technology, etc. So yeah, I look forward to getting to know you, and I hope you look forward to getting to know me, and watching me fail at playing this old roguelike. So we're going to start a new game here, and this whole game, as I said, is about you leading a crew of people in different ships in an effort to report on a rebel threat to your commanders in a distant space sector. And the fun part about this game is not just the little random events, but what ship you pick, because every ship has a different design and will come with different modules or be upgradable in different ways. For example, this is the starting ship you get, the Kestrel. It is pretty bare bones, pretty simple, but that lets you have a bunch of different ways you can upgrade it for different rooms. Then you have engine cruisers, which start off with robotic bays, which are really cool, and you can do some wonky stuff with robots. Or the Adjudicator, which is a special ship that comes with a defensive shield around it. There's a bunch of different ones. Even after all these years, I've only unlocked most of them. I have not unlocked the final three because like I said, I'm mid at best. But, oh well. Let's have some fun. We're going to pick the Kestrel, which is a good name, and let us just quickly rename our crew. Obviously, it'll be piloted by the brave Main Marco. Sorry for the sudden pause there. Sneeze came on. You know how it is whenever you try to record something, you always gotta sneeze. And let's see, for our other pilots, see, this lady looks like a Jenna, and this fella looks like a Johnny. So yeah. One other cool thing is they eventually dropped a free update that added a bunch of additional content to the game. It adds new subsystems, which are these rooms here that you can get more of. It adds new weapons, a new race, some new events, a new sector. It's all cool. In terms of difficulty, we'll keep it on normal. The difficulty just changes what your score will be, as well as the amount of scrap, which is what you use to buy stuff and upgrade materials. And the other cool thing is you can unlock different versions of ships by completing certain objectives, as it says here. And I've never really used the Kestrel. After I unlocked the other ships, I kind of just went in with those. But yeah. Well, with that, I have to rename everyone. I swear, I'm professional. I promise. Well, now you look more. Now you can be Johnny, and we lost. Can we get her back? Oh, there we are. And there we go. And she'll be Jenna. And if we get any other cool little alien races, we'll certainly be sure to point them out, because there's a few. But for now, let's get started. The data you carry is vital to the remaining Federation fleet. You'll need supplies for the journey, so make sure to explore each sector before moving on to the next, but to get the exit before the pursual rebel fleet can catch up. Tip: ion weapons, ion weapon to power, and lock a system for a time. If they hit the enemy shields, they deal their stun damage during the shield. So, game itself, pretty simple. You have weapons, you have a set amount of power you put into all the rooms, and different parts of the ship do different things. Your weapon systems is how you power and shoot weapons, which do different damage, different effects. Oxygen. I think that's self-explanatory. If you can't breathe, you can't fight. The medbay, attacks can damage your crew, as well as events like fire, lack of oxygen, etc., so how you heal them. Your engine is what gives you a chance to dodge incoming attacks, and is also necessary for you to... Oh, excuse me. Man, just all the interruptions today, mainly on me. The engines are what give you dodge, as well as how long it takes for you to power up your ship and jump if you need to escape from an ambush. Shields. Basically, each barrier, every 2 bars, gives you a new level of shield, and that can each block 1 projectile of a sort outside of missiles. Let's see. And then there's subsystems you can get. The autopilot, or the piloting one, is what lets you pilot it, and you can eventually get autopilot, which lets it function when there's no pilot in the cockpit. Radar sensors lets you see enemy positions once you upgrade it, as well as power levels. And doors. Doors matter actually a lot, because if an enemy invades your ship, or if there's a fire spreading, you can use doors to sort of block that out while keeping the rest of your crew safe while you try to deoxygenate the ship to put them out. So yeah. Something else cool is if you take a unit into some of these subsystems that have this little guy on top of it like that, you can put them in there, and for these subsystems, it'll count as a singular upgrade for them, which can be really handy, especially the doors. You can also have people inside of specific ones, and that will give them little boosts as they work on them during combat. So yeah, with that, let us begin. I have a little setting enabled so you can kind of see where you can jump to where and from, because sometimes, if you don't know, it will really screw you over. But for now, let's get going. You detect a rebel scout on an attack patrol approach to a small refueling platform. Their weapons are charged, but they're not firing yet. So, this is what I was talking about. As you go through, there'll be little events in some cases, and you'll have the option to usually engage with them or say, nah, I don't want to deal with that. Big spiders on a ship? No thanks. Crazy guy on a planet? No thanks. But you know what? Screw that. This is why we play games, to have fun. So let's do this. The rebel responds to your threat. I don't know who you are, but no one defiles the rebel fleet, and they move to engage. So yeah, the game itself is basically a real-time game, so all weapons have a set amount of time to charge, and then when they fire, they'll do different things. Missiles are, as it says here, they ignore shields, but they require a special ammo type called missiles, which are tracked here, which reminds me, just go over this stuff up here. This is the amount of oxygen on your ship. This is your dodge chance for all shots coming in. Your shields, your health strength, if this hits 0, you lose. Your scrap, or money. Your fuel amount, which is consumed when you jump. Your missiles, which are consumed when you fire. Robo parts, which are used for robots, which we don't have. The jump button. The ship info button. And the settings menu, which, yeah, nothing crazy there. So, how the game works is I have a pause right now, but what I can do is, for example, I can select a weapon system that's powered up. I'll turn off auto fire for now. You can enable that to keep firing, but I don't do that early game at least. And what you can do is you can select different spots. Now, my missile, because it can penetrate shields, is what I'm going to target on their shields, because if that destroys it and their shields are down, my burst laser, which fires 3 shots, will be able to shoot 3 shots at once, essentially. Easy as that. I know it sounds redundant, but this is important. If I fired this before taking out the shields, that would mean the first shot just takes out the shields and only 2 shots would connect. And possibly, one of those shots could get dodged, so only 1 shot would connect. But yeah, that's the game. Oh, and right away we have someone invading, so to make it simple, we're just gonna fight them off quick. Normally, I would just evac all the air on the ship and have all my crew hide in the healing room, but no need to do strats like that just yet. Oh, and they destroyed my weapons, which means now I'm going to have to wait longer to power up my burst laser. So I might as well shoot another missile for now. And now that I fire that, we can start charging the burst laser. So yeah, and this is essentially how combat kind of goes in this game. You'll have back and forths like this, and it will go slowly but surely. Was this super optimal? Probably not, but like I said, I am mid at this game, so don't be shocked. And now, just as an example, as we try to fire, as you can see, ended up being blocked by one of the shields, but that's okay. And with that, we will destroy the enemy ship. Boom, first one done. And ship breaks apart, and you can quickly salvage what you can. Talking is hard. Got 2 missiles, a robot part, and 19 scrap. If the outpost hails you, the pompous bastards expected free service just because they defeat the Federation. Take this for the help. We got some fuel and more scrap. Hell yeah. Now, we took a lot of damage. We can only fix our ship if we get to a shop, or we find a special event for it. So for now, I say we take some of the scrap and invest it. Now, me personally, I like to get a little dodge early, because I find dodging is super helpful. And oh look, a store. Immediately. So let's try to hop to another spot and see if we can get something good. Oh goody. So, some locations you go to will have special environmental factors to them. And actually, we'll have the missiles. We'll do that this time. That feels a bit more efficient. But in this case, we have a ionic pulse, which essentially will screw up our energy, which means we'll lose some of our energy, and it will also disable our shields temporarily and potentially subsystems. This can get very bad very quickly, so on places like these, you just kind of want to win the fight and get out of there. So yeah. There's other ones, such as meteor storms, pulses from giant suns, which can cause fires to ignite all over your ship. Oh, and look, our weapons are already down, and it has a hole. So, if hulls get hit, some weapons, such as missiles, have the chance to cause hull breaches or specific lasers. And in this case, when that happens, until that is filled, not only will oxygen rapidly leave the room, but you can't actually repair the system. So, yeah, not great. Surrender? Never. Sometimes enemies will be like, oh please, I surrender, let me go. But, nah. Screw that. We're gonna get them. That done, we're gonna actually have Jenna go to the Medicaid quick. See, that's what I was talking about. First shot missed, second shot hit the shield, and third actually connected. So really, lost down a bit of time. But you know what? Our whole system's down. That. And now we wait once again. What a game. But with that, we've won, and we'll see if it was worth not letting them surrender. And yeah, we got a missile out of it. That's not bad. So now we'll actually go to the store. And stores are exactly what you think they'd be. Here, they'll be varied, and they may have multiple pages, but you can buy different upgrades for your ship, such as different modules or subsystem modules, as well as different weapons. You can get crew members, which we can't afford right now. And you can also sell anything you don't want. Sometimes you might be doing a specific build, like only robots or only missiles, so you don't need a laser, or you don't need a beam, and you can sell them. In this case, let's see, we're good on pretty much everything. I say we top off a little bit, and then we get schmovin'. This right here, this is the Rebel approach sector. Every couple jumps, they'll begin moving up and eventually get on the map, and soon they'll be following you. And if they catch up to you, you'll get into a very dangerous fight, and you will possibly die, so try to stay ahead of it. You discover a nearby planet, speckled with settlements, although none respond to your hails. Yeah, you'll sometimes get events like that where you'll jump to a place and there'll be nothing. You know what? Sometimes we like that. Ooh, scanners indicate that battle is taking place nearby. It seems that someone is under attack by space pirates. Well, of course we have to help them. This time. So, this is a beam laser. Beam lasers are both the most powerful and weakest weapon at the same time. They can penetrate shields if you're not careful. or they can't they do amount of damage, and every damage they do will be reduced by a level of shield. So this only does 1 damage, so it'll only do 2 damage if it, or 0. This is a level 1 beam laser, essentially, does 1 damage. So as you can see, it will not penetrate the shield. So you got to be careful, because if your shields go down, they will mess you up. Don't ask how I know that. I didn't know that at first, and they kept cutting through my shields and killing me. Now this is a fun one. We have a rebel ship that is going to try and escape and warn the pirates about us. So what we're going to do is we are going to, first of all, kill this guy who invaded, and we got to try to stop them. In the event this rebel ship escapes before we can destroy it, the enemy rebel fleet that's chasing us will get to have an increased jump and may catch up to us. So gotta try to avoid that if we can. So yeah, that time a little bit got in, but now the enemy FTL is delayed, which is good. Oh yeah. Let's see. Jenna, you go fix that. Johnny, you go heal. I will continue to bravely man the cockpit while nothing goes on. Let's see, hit the autopilot, or the captain's quarters. And with this next volley, if we're lucky, should result in our victory. And there we go. Easy as that. Now, next we're going up into a nebula cloud. These are bad because they'll do one of two things. First, they'll disable your subsystem scanners, which, you know, not the end of the world, rough, but you can live with that. The other thing they'll sometimes do, they will reduce the amount of power you have. If that happens, you'll then have cases like where it'll be, here it goes, perfect. In this case, we have a lack of pretty much everything. So this one does not have any shields for now, so we're going to actually kill the Artemis and put a point into that. And we're going to see if we can beat this fast enough, because we're currently running out of oxygen, which, you know, kind of cringe. Not being able to breathe. Don't ask how I know. Oh, and did you look at that? It destroyed our shield, and now this laser bot can just kind of go wild, which is not good. That's really not good. This is very bad. With that, we have temporarily disabled the shields. Right, so now we're going to try to get our ship fixed up. And with that, we can. We're going to jump. Yeah, we got time. We'll jump here. I'm sorry, we can't help you. So I skipped through that, my apologies. Basically, sometimes the AI will request you to help them with a quest, and that can range from, oh, just please bring me here or bring me there. In my fear of the rebel fleet approaching the exit beacon, I essentially was like, can I make this? No, I don't think so. We'll forget that distress signal. I'll explain that in a minute, but essentially, it could be a situation where the, they'll say, oh, please help me do this and you'll get a good reward, or a fight and then a good reward. But I, being nervous with the approaching fleet, skipped through it, didn't read it. It was probably for the next sector, but yeah. Such is life. Got a lot of scrap, which I'm saving right now to see if we can maybe get a nice buy at a base, because we can still kind of rock the one shield right now. But yeah, sometimes you'll encounter distresses. These are beacons of someone needing help, well, hence distress. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're traps, other times they hurt. Either way, I say for now we go to the exit and hopefully don't have a similar repeat. Beautiful, we can go to the next sector. Now, what's cool about this game also is you can go to multiple different sectors. Each sector essentially is going to have some variation. You have civilian sectors, hostile sectors, and nebulas. Nebulas are sectors that have a lot of this purple gunk, but it's like most of the sector. Hostile sectors are what they sound like. They are sectors where you're going to most likely encounter a lot more combats and find less friendly interactions. Civilian sectors are the opposite, where you'll find more friendly interactions, and there'll still be fights, but normally you're more likely to have an encounter and you can just kind of be like, nah, I'll back away. Now, I find hostile sectors usually more rewarding for loot, but details. We're going to go to an abandoned sector for now because, as you can see, we'll have a lot more green choices going this way, and we can kind of go back down. Either way, we have to go through Nebula at some point. We'll worry about that later. And as we go, I'm going to take a sip of water. Something else is the abandoned sectors are actually new content added by that little free DLC I mentioned. The Lanius are a race of aliens that don't actually need oxygen, and they actually remove oxygen from a room. So it's really cool, and they actually make really good boarding assault parties. Ooh, with that though, finally, a store where we can maybe buy stuff. Let's see. Ooh, they got nice stuff here. So, got a repair arm, which is, it'll basically reduce how much scrap you make, but it'll heal you. Automated reloader, weapons charge 10% faster. Reverse ion field, less likely to suffer from ion weapons. Then you have a drone control, which we can't afford, but basically makes it so you can use battle drones instead of other stuff. Cloaking, which is exactly what it sounds like. You turn invisible, where all shots at you will be automatically dodged and enemies can't charge and shoot you. And mind control. Basically, you mind control an enemy in a ship, and they will attack and fight with you. Otherwise, we have some drone stuff. You know what? I think, actually, what I want to do, I'm going to sell the Artemis, and I'm going to buy the drone control. We're going to go into drones, I think. And with that, we only have 9, so we will repair a little bit, and we are going to pull a power from that, and we'll be able to power up drones. We don't have a lot of them, but I think it could be a fun thing. I like drones a lot. They're cool, so why not? And we find our first Lanius scout ship. And oh, they're already sending out bad things next. So we're going to put up a defense drone, and this will just shoot down anything that comes at us, which is really handy. And now we can just kind of take our time whittling them away. Alright, that's a hack station, which, of all the things it could have hit, the fact it hit the med bay is actually kind of a godsend. I'll turn on autofire now. Autofire is basically the feature that just lets it fix the oxygen. Basically keeps firing in the same spot over and over. So we're just going to have that aimed at that. And yeah, cool. Right there. We will not accept surrender. And now, yeah, we'll just keep hitting the weapons. Slow and steady, but it's fine. I also just realized it was a defense drone. I was thinking it was going to give us an attack drone. Once again, my illiteracy has screwed me in the group. I love that. And then we will switch back over to weapons now that we've damaged the shield. So yeah, we are good. And with that, hell yeah. Alright. Now we gotta begin making our way over here. Unfortunately, it's really out of the way, so we kinda have to hurry. Oh, intruders on board. So we're gonna do one of my favorite strats. So when you have events like this where a bunch of intruders pop on the ship, what I like to do is essentially I put a point into the med bay, and then I open all the doors. And I know what you're thinking. Isn't that gonna kill your crew? Perhaps. But at least for now, by doing this, upgrade the doors and make it where my crew fight inside of a healing area, while theirs just kind of suffocates. And ooh, I may have overestimated the enemy on this one. And that I did. Well, you know, as the old saying goes, sometimes your own hubris will get to you. But yeah, that's this game in a nutshell. And as I said, I admit it best, and that was piss poor. Oh, but yeah, I love this game. Super silly, super fun, and I will definitely be playing this more again soon. So if you enjoyed that for some reason, it consisting of my weird ramblings, my poor ability to show off my surviving that, and etc. Well then, I suppose stick around. You'll see more of this hopefully in the near future. And if you didn't enjoy it, I do not blame you. With that, have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to playing more. Peace.